Good evening, I'm Joan, and welcome to Sideline Stories. Tonight, we take you on a remarkable journey through the history of one of America's most resilient cities, Chicago. We'll explore how this metropolis literally rose from devastating ashes to become the architectural marvel and cultural powerhouse we know today. Let's dive into the incredible story of the Windy City. Chicago wasn't always the gleaming metropolis of nearly 3 million people we see today. Back in 1837, it started as just a muddy trading post where Lake Michigan meets the prairie. But what happened next is truly amazing. Kira, you've been looking into Chicago's fascinating transformation. Tell us how this city managed to turn disaster into triumph. Thanks, Joan. The story really centers around October 8, 1871, the day the Great Chicago Fire changed everything. Picture this. Flames raged for 2 straight days, destroying 4 square miles of the city. Over 300 people died and 100,000 were left homeless. Wooden buildings just vanished overnight. But here's the incredible part. Instead of giving up, Chicagoans saw opportunity. They rebuilt with steel and stone. By 1885, they created the world's first skyscraper, the home insurance building. The fire literally sparked an architectural revolution. The city's engineering feats are mind-blowing too. In the 1850s, they actually lifted the entire city on jack screws to build a sewer system. Then in 1900, they reversed the Chicago River's flow to protect Lake Michigan. That's still considered one of history's greatest engineering achievements. Those engineering marvels really show Chicago's innovative spirit. Today, Chicago stands as America's 3rd largest city, with an economy worth nearly $700 billion. It's home to world-class museums, the birthplace of house music, and architectural wonders that still inspire cities worldwide. That's our look at Chicago tonight. Proof that sometimes our greatest challenges become our greatest opportunities.
A city of culture and creativity. Chicago's cultural spirit is as bold as its skyline. Over 55 million visitors each year flock to its museums, theaters, restaurants, and Lake Michigan's beaches. Is the birthplace of house music and a historic center for jazz, blues, gospel, and hip-hop. Its stages have launched legends of improv comedy, and its art and architecture continue to shape global design. The city is home to the Art Institute of Chicago, the Lyric Opera, and the Chicago Symphony Orchestra, each a temple of human creativity. Its universities, the University of Chicago, Northwestern University, and UIC, are among the most respected in the world. Sports here are religion. From Wrigley Field's ivy-covered walls to the Chicago Marathon, the city's athletic passion burns as fiercely as its spirit of reinvention. The origin of Chicago. The name Chicago comes from a French interpretation of the Miami, Illinois word chicaconqui, meaning wild onion or skunk. In 1679, explorer Robert de La Salle recorded the name Chicago, while Henri Joutel noted fields thick with wild garlic. Thus, Chicago, the place of the wild onion, was born. Over time, it earned other names: the Windy City, Chi-Town, the Second City, and the City of the Big Shoulders, each reflecting a piece of its identity. The first settler and the frontier years. Before Chicago's rise, the land was home to the Potawatomi, who followed earlier peoples, the Miami, Sauk, and Meskwaki. In the 1780s, a trader named Jean-Baptiste Point du Sable, a man of African descent, built a permanent settlement near the river's mouth. Today, he is celebrated as the founder of Chicago. Following America's victory in the Northwest Indian War, the Treaty of Greenville, 1795, ceded parts of the area to the U.S. government. Fort Dearborn was built in 1803, destroyed during the War of 1812, and later rebuilt, marking the beginning of the U.S. presence in the region. But with expansion came tragedy.
The Treaty of Chicago, 1833, forced the Potawatomi to relocate west of the Mississippi, a painful reminder of the nation's policy of Indian removal. From village to powerhouse. On August 12, 1833, the town of Chicago was officially organized. Population, just 200. 4 years later, it became a city. By 1848, it was a transportation titan, home to the Galena and Chicago Union Railroad and the Illinois and Michigan Canal, connecting the Great Lakes to the Mississippi. Chicago became the pulse of a new America. Immigrants from across Europe, Germans, Polish, Irish, Swedes, and Czechs, flooded in. By 1900, more than 77% of its people were of foreign descent. Out of this melting pot rose industry, invention, and the dream of progress. In politics, Abraham Lincoln found his platform here. Nominated for president in the 1860 Republican Convention, held in Chicago's own wigwam. His victory set the stage for a nation's defining conflict, the Civil War. Engineering miracles. The city's growth demanded bold solutions. In the 1850s, Ellis S. Chesbrough designed America's first comprehensive sewer system, literally raising the city on jack screws to build it. Later, in 1900, engineers achieved the unthinkable, reversing the flow of the Chicago River to protect Lake Michigan from pollution. It remains one of the greatest feats of civil engineering in history. The fire that forged a legend. On October 8, 1871, fire engulfed the city. Flames raged for 2 days, killing over 300 and leaving a third of the population homeless. Yet even this disaster couldn't destroy Chicago's will. Out of ashes rose modernity. Steel and stone replaced wood, and in 1885, the home insurance building became the world's first skyscraper. Chicago became a symbol of rebirth, a phoenix city.
A city of innovation. By the early 20th century, Chicago had annexed surrounding townships, growing vast and diverse. Immigrants shaped its neighborhoods, industries boomed, and railroads made it the transportation capital of America. Here, time itself was standardized. The North American time zone system was born in Chicago in 1883. The 1893 World's Columbian Exposition showcased Chicago to the world. 27 million visitors witnessed a city that had reinvented itself entirely. It was the dawn of modern urban America. Health, labor, and reform. Chicago's rapid industrial rise brought hardship, crowded factories, pollution, and labor unrest. The Haymarket Affair, 1886, and the Pullman Strike, 1894, echoed across the nation, shaping America's labor movement. Yet from the struggle came compassion. Jane Addams and Ellen Gates Starr founded Hull House, pioneering modern social work. Public health reformers like John H. Rausch turned cemeteries into parks and epidemics into lessons, transforming the city's health system. Out of hardship came innovation. Once again, Chicago reinvented itself. The city and its shape. Set on the shores of Lake Michigan, Chicago is a city of water and wind. Its rivers, the Chicago and Calumet, thread through a metropolis that stretches across 77 community areas and more than 200 neighborhoods. The famous grid system makes it one of the most organized urban landscapes in the world, and Lakeshore Drive, lined with parks like Lincoln, Grant, and Jackson, gives the city its breathtaking waterfront. From the 1920s, sociologists of the University of Chicago mapped its social fabric, giving rise to the term Chicagoland, the vast region where city and suburb blend into one living system. Architecture, the sky's the limit. The fire that destroyed the city also birthed an architectural revolution. The Home Insurance Building, 1885, changed the world, marking the beginning of the skyscraper era. From the Willis Tower, formerly Sears Tower, to
to the John Hancock Center and Trump Tower, Chicago's skyline became a symbol of modernity itself. Architectural visionaries Daniel Burnham, Louis Sullivan, Frank Lloyd Wright, and Mies van der Rohe shaped not just a city, but a philosophy of building that defined the 20th century. Even today, an architecture boat tour along the Chicago River tells the story of human imagination rising ever upward. The soul of the city. Chicago is more than its steel, its streets, or its skyline. It is a mosaic of people and purpose. From Bronzeville's African-American heritage to Pilsen's Latino vibrancy, from the South Side's jazz to the West Side's murals, every corner tells a story of struggle and triumph. The Hyde Park neighborhood, home to the University of Chicago and former President Barack Obama, remains a center of intellect and inspiration. The Garfield Park Conservatory, the National Museum of Mexican Art, and countless community parades celebrate the spirit of inclusion that defines the city. Even the Chicago accent, immortalized in the Blues Brothers and Saturday Night Live's superfans, speaks to its working-class charm and authenticity. Eternal Chicago. From wild onion fields to steel towers scraping the sky, from ashes to art, Chicago has always been more than a city. It is a declaration of endurance, a place that fell, rebuilt, and then taught the world what resilience looks like. Chicago did not just rise from the ashes, it became the fire, burning bright across history, illuminating the boundless strength of the human will. Stay with us for more compelling stories coming up. This has been Sideline Stories. I'm Joan. Thanks for reading.